Yo, what's going on, people? We are live. We got a nice 5-gamer here. Smaller slate compared to what we've been dealing with as of late. But we're good to go. We got the projections all updated here on my side screen, ready to answer questions. Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic day. And welcome in. Patrick, Sir Dwayne Moody, Tat, Claw. What is going on, everybody? We're going to do a little bit of a game by game. Let's see what we got going on here. Look like a lot of people played Trae Young last night. Trae Young, lock of the night, absolutely went off. Hopefully you had a bunch of them. Glad to hear it. Tonight we got Chris Paul, if you missed my video earlier. May 2 is out. Yep, that news just came through. So we will discuss that. And yeah, we look like pretty good. Welcome in, everybody. Let's get into it. Let's talk about some DraftKings. Let's talk about some FanDuel. Tap My Life wants me to start on FanDuel, man. I'm telling you, I can't do it. One of these days I'm going to have to do it for you, my man. But for the time being, I got to start on DraftKings. And I will tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. Because in my opinion, I think I've told you this before, DraftKings app does a much better job of describing injuries and or explaining when, who it impacts, etc. kind of thing. So I just like the it's also easier to navigate to see who's in and out. So I like to go on DraftKings first, see all the injuries, then we head on over to FanDuel. I still got the FanDuel projections locked in for the premium content members, Tat, so you know that. I got your answers in the Discord chat. We're still going to talk about some pricing discrepancies at the end on FanDuel as well, and I'll still give you my favorite plays, but there is a method to my madness. I don't have a favorite site. I like playing on both sites, but from a content perspective of breaking down the games, I like going onto the DraftKings platform to talk about the injuries. Then I will head on over. So, let's see here. Claw says, why do your sheets look different than mine? Because when I go on the stream, I have to hide a lot of the things on my sheet, such as my projections, my minutes, my multiplier metric, all that stuff, because that is reserved just for the people that pay and are premium content members. So what I do when I go on stream is I sort my sheet by salary, starting with the most expensive salary first, downwards. So we can still see the fantasy point per minute, we can still see all that, but the people on the stream cannot see what you see as a premium content member. Claw, you can see everything. You see my multiplier, my minutes, my projections, my core plays. That stuff is all left blank on the screen that I use for my live stream. So that's why it looks different. So anyways, let's get into it. So yeah, Claw, thank you. I got you, man. That is why. Anyways, so if you didn't know, I do offer premium content where you can get access to all of those things. You see a little bit of a sneak peek on the screen, but this is only about, a quarter of what I provide on this screen. And then I offer a whole lot more. If you head on over to these other sheets, I always like to show this sheet as a sneak peek free preview. This is one of the 16 different color-coded sheets that I have that break things down from all aspects of which teams are best defensively, which teams are best offensively, etc., and allow you to make the best possible lineups possible. So this is the one that I like to show on the screen for a preview, just to kind of let you know that it is legit. I got a bunch of good stuff on here. This is only one sheet, and there's some free premium content for you on the screen. If you want to screenshot or whatever, I guess you could, but this is only one of the sheets, the defensive shooting accuracy sheet, and I have a lot more that could help you out. So let's get into it, guys. Let's do game by game. Let's answer some questions. Let's have some fun here. Give you the winning plays, as always. Memphis taking on Cleveland. We got the first game on the slate here. John Morant at the top. Darius Garland was ruled in, so that's obviously a big piece of news. He's going to start. Be cutting into the usage of some of these Cleveland Cavaliers guys. It should definitely help them as far as keeping games close, so I will say that much. This game comes with a 215.5 over-under with a 3-point spread in favor of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So not exactly the fastest paced game on the slate. We will talk about it, but there are two games on the slate, the Cleveland Cavaliers-Memphis Grizzlies game and the New York Knicks-Indiana Pacers game, that are a clear step down from the other games, such as the Suns-Pelicans game, Kings-Lakers game, and San Antonio Raptors game, where, these games are all in the 220s. The other games are not. So that's the first thing I'll say about this game. Not one of the fastest up-tempo games on the slate, but one thing about it that I will say is there are some value pieces to be had, I think, on the Cleveland side specifically. One of the guys that's really grading out well in my projection model right now for me over here on my screen is Lamar Stevens. He's priced at 3-3. Now, if he does start for the Cleveland Cavaliers, now that there is indeed no Isaac Okoro, that's going to make him a pretty interesting play. He's only 3-3. He's not the best fantasy point per minute producer in the world, but the fact of the matter is he's the 3-3 price tag. He's taking on a Memphis team that doesn't really scare us too much defensively. Puts up 0.66 DK points per minute on the season, and he would become an intriguing value play. So we're waiting on this Cleveland Cavaliers starting lineup, but if Lamar Stevens, regardless, he comes off the bench, he's still going to be a pretty intriguing play as well. But I have a feeling there's a possibility he might slide into the starting rotation or something like that. They slide Darius Garland over to the point guard position, and they take Pangos out of that starting lineup. So if that does happen, would like him even more. And yeah, that would be my approach there. Lamar Stevens going to be a good value play. As far as anyone else in this game, Ja Morant definitely going to continue to be a decent play at 9-7. I just think that there are some other point guards on the slate that are priced a little bit friendlier than Ja Morant. And for that reason, I think that those guys can kind of provide the same upside at a cheaper price tag. So I'm getting a little bit of limited exposure on Ja on my builds tonight. We also have some other guys that I want to be prioritizing a little bit more than him. So we'll talk about that as we go along the slate. But it's a decent play, not as good as I would say in the past few slates. If you want to go there, I wouldn't call you crazy. Desmond Bane's probably my favorite play in this game. He comes in at a 6-7 price tag on DraftKings. As long as there's no Dillon Brooks, his usage is continuing to be through the roof. He's taken over 20 shot attempts the last 2 games. Put up 30, 47 DraftKings points. And the fact of the matter is he's just not priced up enough for his new role here with there being no Dillon Brooks. So I do think Desmond Bane is a pretty interesting option in this game. As far as anyone else on the Cleveland side, like I said, Stevens is probably my favorite option for a price aspect. Evan Mobley, Kevin Love, Jared Allen, I got to be honest with you, I'm not that intrigued to be playing these guys. It's a slower paced game. They're all cutting into each other's usage. And there are some other guys in the slate that, as we continue along, I think will match their score tonight at a much cheaper price tag. So why would I want to pay up for these guys in a slow environment when I can go to a cheaper guy in a better environment that I think will match them for scoring? So that's my breakdown for this first one. San Antonio Spurs taking on the Toronto Raptors. Next game on the slate. DeJounte Murray was ruled out. That is going to make Derek White once again a fantastic play. His price tag has not been adjusted up enough, in my opinion. He's still only 7-2. And for that reason, I'm going to continue to target him. He put up 46 DraftKings points last time out with no DeJounte Murray against the Detroit squad. If he's able to do that again for you at only a 7-2 price tag, you will be very happy with that score. And I think he will be able to here. A lot of usage to go his way. No DeJounte Murray. He gets a big bump up. Certainly will have interest in him. There are reports Murray's conditioning to play today. No, the reports were that he is going to play tomorrow, Wednesday. So he is conditioning. He is expected to return soon, but the report is that he's going to return tomorrow. So unless you're seeing different reports that I am, but as far as I am concerned, he's returning tomorrow. So just so you guys know, he is out. Derek White going to be a great play. If Jones continues to start as well, down here at 3-8 on DraftKings, going to be a great play as well. And there are quite a few different pieces on the San Antonio Spurs side that you could be mixing and matching in your lineups if you're playing multiple lineups especially. Trey Jones would be my favorite option from a salary relief perspective, but there also is Bates Diop and Devin Vassell at 3-7 and 4-4. Both these guys very cheap. Both these guys produce at a high rate, and both these guys should get plenty of minutes with there being no Lonnie Walker and Doug McDermott. So if you want to go to Devin Vassell, Bates Diop, Trey Jones, all three of those guys are running out as good value plays. I also do have quite a bit of interest in Mr. Jakob Poeltl, Keldon Johnson at the 6K range. Both guys produce at a pretty high rate. Both can be a little bit versatile, but the fact of the matter is the usage for all these guys should be up. Obviously, I wouldn't be playing every single one of these guys in the same lineup. You kind of have to limit your exposure per lineup. But if you are playing multiple lineups, it does make sense. Nerlens Noel ruled out with conditioning today, so that's the latest and greatest update that just came through. If you guys were curious about Mr. Nerlens Noel, he is going to continue to be out tonight. So, I mean, the big piece of news in that game is Julius Randle. He's a game-time decision. That just came through, so of course he is. That doesn't really help our case too much, but we're going to have to wait on that news, and we'll talk about it when that comes through. So, yeah, so the Spurs offer plenty of value Definitely going to have an interest in them. You can run it back on the other side with the Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, and Scotty Barnes. All these guys getting lots of minutes. Very solidified rotation. The Toronto Raptors always play these guys all a solid allotment of minutes. But once again, all kind of cutting into each other's usage. While they all do play a lot of minutes, I would limit my exposure to, probably 2 of these guys in my lineup at the max. If you want to go to 2 of them, I would not blame you. I mean, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, both been producing at very high rates. It is a pretty up-tempo game here. 50-plus DraftKings points. The last 3 games out for Pascal Siakam at an 8.7 price tag. That's definitely respectable. The same can be said for Fred VanVleet at a 9K price tag. 66, 57, 54. So those 2 guys would definitely be my 2 favorites. If you want to go to them, does make sense. You are just kind of paying the price for their production, but it's worth it. They get solidified minutes. They produce at a high rate. If you want to go there, certainly does. We just have some other games that are a little bit faster, up-tempo, so it's a matter of lineup build and whether you can really fit those guys in and whether you want to prioritize them. One of the biggest priorities is Domantas Sabonis at 9.9. This Indiana side really banged up. Domantas Sabonis and LeBron James are the 2 top pay-up options on this slate. I have found with my lineup build so far, I got to be honest, I'm not too sure I'm going to be able to fit both of them in, strictly from a positional aspect. There is really good value at the center position. There's really good value at the guard position, and there's really good, not so good value like at the shooting guard, small forward position on DraftKings, I've noticed. So my roster construction is leading me to either having one of Domantas Sabonis or LeBron James, and I'm not liking it, but I just got to be honest, that's what I've noticed when building my lineups. I know you can get both of them in your lineups, it's just the value around it I didn't like personally, so that's my reflection so far building lineups. However, if you can get Domantas Sabonis and LeBron James in your lineup and you like the value around it, I'm hoping that I can. I'm hoping that, as we talk through the stream and as news comes out throughout the stream, maybe we get some more value or something to where I can fit both of those guys in, because Domantas Sabonis and LeBron James are the top 2 pay-up options on this slate. So love them. Over on a site like FanDuel, I think Domantas Sabonis is going to be very easy to get in your lineup. Don't even think twice about it. But maybe not. We'll talk about that as well. I'm building on DraftKings tonight, but anyways, point being, just talking about some personal frustration. I'm interested to see what you guys think with building lineups. But anyways, Domantas Sabonis is going to be a top pay-up option. LeBron James is going to be top pay-up options. Both should be top priorities for you in your lineups tonight. Julius Randle's the big piece of news that we're waiting on here. If Julius Randle is in, obviously that's going to clutter the rotation a little bit more, take away the usage from some New York Knicks guys. If he is out, that is going to make us like Obi Toppin a lot. I talked about him on the video this morning at a 5.2 price tag. He's been playing a lot of minutes. Good fantasy point producer. He played 45 minutes last time out, 41 DraftKings points. If he's able to do that at only a 5.2 price tag, you will be very, very happy with it. So he would be the guy that you would be going to if there is no Julius Randle. If Julius Randle's in, obviously he becomes unplayable, really. At a 5.2 price tag, his price tags have been inflated as if Julius Randle's out. If Julius Randle's in, it makes no sense to be playing him. So that would be the approach there. Also, RJ Barrett gets a big bump up if there's no Julius Randle as well. So that's the big piece of news we're waiting on the New York Knicks side. We can't really reflect on who we're looking to play until we get that news. You can also be looking to a Dwayne Washington Jr. on the Indiana side at only 4K. He's getting to start the point guard position with there being no Karis LeVert. He does grade out as a pretty great value for me. Expected to play right around 30 minutes, 0.78 DraftKings points per minute. If you'd like to go to him, he is a great play. Once again, it is going to come down to roster construction. We talked about my lock of the night being Chris Paul. Love that game in an up-tempo environment. There's some other guards that I want to talk about that have opened up as well. So this is not the easiest build slate, which is a good thing, I think, because we can really lock in on who we're liking the most and get different. And it's not quite as easy as just playing the team that has the most guys out on the health and safety protocols, which seems to be a trend in the entire NBA season. So this is good. There's a lot of good value. There are going to be a lot of questions in the chat tonight where people ask me, do I like this play? And I'm going to say yes, a lot, because there are a lot of good plays. So it's a matter of prioritizing those good plays in your lineups, getting different, figuring out the ones that you like the best. That's how you're going to win a tournament tonight. I just have to say that. There's a lot of good plays at all positions. So there's going to be value that succeeds. There's going to be value that busts, and that's going to be the definition of the slate, because the pay-up options are pretty easy, and I think that the pay-up options are very clearly going to succeed. So that is the way I'm approaching this slate tonight. All right, guys, so that's my little disclaimer there. If you're enjoying the stream, guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. That would be greatly appreciated. Trying to get to 20 likes on all these streams, and I'm going to take a little peek at the chat here. Try to answer some questions for you. Josh says, do you help pick lineups if you are a member? I don't help pick lineups. I answer questions in the Discord chat to help you pick your lineups, but I do not give you lineups. That is illegal. There's a lot of people that do that out on certain sites. I do not do that because that is called collusion in the DFS industry, and it's not allowed. I can help you out with lineups. I can't give you lineups. I'm very against that, as a matter of fact. I don't like that people sell lineups. I think it is not appropriate, to be quite frank. So that is my stance there. JV or Morant? I would go with Morant there. The sheets help once you figure them out. Thank you, Claus. Patrick says, let's get the likes up to 20. Excellent content. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate your support. Like the sheets say, Booker over Paul, but Paul is lock of the night. Yeah, well, the sheets aren't accounting for... Well, the sheets are accounting for, because if you look at the multiplier metric, but what I was going to say is the price tag difference is a big deal here. Devin Booker is 8.8. Chris Paul is 7.4. They're projected fairly similar here. Chris Paul has a lot of upside, and his price tag is at a nice discount. That is why Chris Paul is the lock of the night. Not to mention he's taking on a New Orleans Pelicans team that claw. If you go to the premium content sheet and you look at my defensive half-court putbacks tool, defensive transition tools, you will see very quickly that the New Orleans Pelicans are one of the worst teams in the league defensively. 24th overall points per possession rank. They do not scare me whatsoever. I love targeting them, and for that reason, Chris Paul is going to be my lock of the night. He's underpriced across the industry. This guy can easily put up 50-plus points tonight in the low 7K range on both websites. You're going to be very, very happy with that if he does do that. Booker or Van Vliet? I think I would go with Booker for upside at his price tag, even though it's a very small difference. But overall scoring, I think I would go with Van Vliet there by a hair. There are reports Murray's conditioning to play today. Oh, my bad. Yeah, no worries, Dwayne Moody. He's going to be back on Wednesday. Poeltl or Keldon Johnson? I'd go with Poeltl there. More consistent, more minutes upside. Booker Van Vliet, you already asked that, Claw, and I already answered it. So we should be good to go. 17 people, 8 likes, guys. Hit that like button. This game, Phoenix taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. We got Brandon Ingram priced up to 9.6. Obviously, he's dominating the usage. The problem is the Phoenix Suns are very good defensively. Looking at my premium content and my sheets over here, Phoenix ranks 2nd overall in the league in points per possession rank. Now, this is going to be a fast, up-tempo game. I just don't think that the pay-up options are going to really smash in this spot. So, for that reason, I have a lot more interest in the mid-range plays on the New Orleans Pelicans side of things. On the Phoenix side, I love Devin Booker. I love Chris Paul. His pay-up options should be fast up-tempo. Should have plenty of upside. I also love Jalen Smith at 5.5. There's no JaVale McGee. There's no DeAndre Ayton. His price tag has not been adjusted enough, in my opinion. The guy's absolutely smashing. He puts up a lot of fantasy points very quickly. Over a fantasy point per minute. Still priced at 5.5. And he got pulled into the game early last time because it was an absolute blowout. He only played 24 minutes, but that's because... I mean, they ended up winning that game 133 to 99. So I would not take that too seriously as far as the amount of minutes he played in that game. And we got reports today. Jay Crowder's already out. Landry Shamet landed on the injury list. So what does that mean for me? That means I'm going to have a lot more interest in a Cameron Payne at 4.6. Cameron Payne off the bench, 6-man, produces at a very high rate on the season. And as the 6-man, he's going to get all the usage when he comes in. Now there's no Landry Shamet. He should get even more usage. And I think that he's going to get a few more minutes, which is a big deal. If he goes from playing 23 minutes up to like 28 minutes, and he's a guy that puts up over a fantasy point per minute, that is a huge difference. So I think Cameron Payne could be a great play tonight. From the Phoenix side, I had someone earlier on the video mention some Bismack Biyombo at 3K. I do think that is minimum salary. You could look to him. He got 18 minutes because of that blowout, though. Someone was saying if Jalen Smith gets in foul trouble, he could get more minutes. He is minimum salary. So I do agree. Minimum salary guy, you could definitely take a chance on it. He's a good fantasy point producer. It's just going to come down to how many minutes he does get. So that would be my approach on this Phoenix side. New Orleans Pelicans side, I have my most interest in Josh Hart at 6.6. The guy's just priced great. His upside could surpass this price tag very easily. Great rebounder. He gets you assists. He scores. He does it all. He gets block steals. So I love playing Josh Hart for that reason in daily fantasy sports. He could go out there and have a rough shooting night and still get you there. He does everything. He gets peripheral stats. He does it all. So for that reason, I think Josh Hart in the mid-range is a phenomenal play. The only thing that holds me back from playing him is price tags, and we've even seen his price tag go up all the way up to 7K, and he put up 57 DraftKings points. So Josh Hart, more than capable of surpassing that. And if you're just tuning into the stream and you didn't watch my video earlier, I don't know why you didn't. You got to get on it. It's good content, but Chris Paul is my lock of the night. Love Chris Paul. I think he is a fantastic play. Trae Young was my lock of the night last night. We had Jalen Smith the night before. We have been really killing it with a lock of the nights. And we're looking to stay hot. Chris Paul, get him in your lineups. Last game on the slate, we have Sacramento taking on the LA Lakers. This is going to be a very fast, up-paced game. It's a 230.5 over-under. We talked about my lineup construction. This is what's killing me because I think Domantas Sabonis and LeBron James are both fantastic plays. I think that there is so much value to fit them both in. The problem is there's some value that's really, really good that's standing out to me that I really want to be playing in my lineups that only have certain position eligibility, and for that reason, as we speak, I'm only able to get LeBron in because I'm having to pick between LeBron and Sabonis. I'm picking LeBron. It's a faster up-tempo game. LeBron's upside in this spot is enormous. He could easily go out there and put up 80 DraftKings points. There's no Anthony Davis. His usage has been crazy. Last game out, he finally came back down to earth. Got the day off, though. He should be rested up here. Good to go. No back-to-back for LeBron. The usage is through the roof. Fastest pace game on the slate. I think that it is a necessity to be getting LeBron James in your lineups. So I like LeBron James a lot as a pay-up option. There's also some pretty great secondary options on the LA Lakers. I do think this is a rare spot where Russell Westbrook and LeBron James could both get there. This game is supplying enough of a fast up-pace environment, and Russell Westbrook price tag has come down from 10.7 to 10.2. For that reason, I do think both these guys could get you there. If you want to go to both of them to be contrarian in your turn lineups, I wouldn't hate it. Rashawn Holmes listed out. We did just get confirmation that there is no Maytu as well. So that's certainly something to take note of. That's going to mean probably more minutes for a Marvin Bagley. More minutes for a Terrence Davis if he does return. So that's a big piece of news as well. If there's no Terrence Davis, Marvin Bagley and Damian Jones, who I already have a bunch of interest in, would become even better plays here. So that is kind of my approach here. Tristan Thompson has been cut out of the equation. Damian Jones, as long as he continues to be starting at 4K, phenomenal fantasy point per minute producer. Grades out as a fantastic play in my projection model. He's someone that I will be prioritizing tonight, putting up 0.99 DK points per minute on the season. I've got him projected for right around 30 minutes and a 230.5 over under. It does not get much better than that at a 4K price tag. He is a phenomenal play on this slate tonight. So that's the first guy that I'm looking to on the Sacramento side of things. The LA Lakers, we talked about LeBron, we talked about Westbrook. You could certainly take some stabs on Carmelo Anthony and Malik Monk, both priced in the low 5K range. Both can get hot. Both can produce at a high rate here. Malik Monk would be my preferred option of the two, but they do have different positional eligibility. One's a forward, one's a guard. De'Aaron Fox grading out is a really good play for me in my projection model. I'm being reluctant to play him. His consistency just hasn't been there, so I'm going against the projections in this one. But I got to be honest, if there was ever a spot for him to go off, this would probably be it. The LA Lakers have been terrible defensively. They can't win games easily at all. They've been struggling. LeBron's having to put the team on his back. LeBron's going crazy and barely winning games or losing games. So, we're not worried about the LA Lakers defense right now. They were one of the best defenses in the league last year. That is not the case right now. They've been terrible. So, I think that this is a spot De'Aaron Fox could go off. So, I do give you the green flag to play him. Myself, I'm probably not going to play him, and I'm probably going to regret it. But that does not mean that you can't play him because he is a good play. He does grade out as a good play. I'm just a little bit scared about his peripherals. I think it's probably going to come back to bite me. So, if you want to have play Fox, I do think it makes a lot of sense. All right, guys, questions. Bane or White? I would go with Derek White there because no DeJounte Murray, big bump up in usage. It's a faster paced game. I would go there. I do like both those plays, however. Any Raptors of interest? Justin asks. My Raptors, guys, my top two options would be the pay-up options in that game. From an upside aspect at his price tag, my favorite option would be Gary Trent Jr. He's only 5'8", so I do think that he is a good upside at his price tag type of play. But for just an overall upside in price tags and usage and all that stuff factored in, Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet would both be my top two options on their side, both producing 50-plus fantasy points the last 3 games out, both looking very good. So, Love or Turner? I would go with Turner there, not even close. The Indiana Pacers are dealing with a bunch of injuries. LeBron costed me $75 when he missed those last 2 free throws the other night. Lost my parlay by half a fantasy point. Sorry about that, Adam, man. That is never fun. What's up, Claw? If RJ Barrett plays, do you like him over Podol? I mean, RJ Barrett's definitely going to play. It's a matter of if Julius Randle plays. And if Julius Randle plays, I don't like him as much. Time My Life says Vassell or Bates, FanDuel, Derek White, or Fox, any Culver love. Yeah, Time My Life. We're going to get over to FanDuel for you right now, my man. For you guys that just tuned in, if you're enjoying this content, hit that like button. We're trying to get up to 20 likes on these live streams. We have 23 people in here, only 10 likes. Hit that like button. It's free. It takes 1 second to do it. Greatly helps me out, and I'm going to be helping you guys out all season with these picks. Let's talk some FanDuel here. Let's talk some FanDuel. We got it pulled up. I'm going to have to make a little bit of an update with that Maytu news coming out to my projections, so I do think that that could change some things for me. But for the time being, let's talk over what I got going here on FanDuel. So the first thing I'll say is Chris Paul, my lock of the night. 7-8 on FanDuel, too cheap. Love him on both websites. That's just not expensive enough in this fast, up-tempo environment. Taking on a New Orleans Pelicans squad that's terrible defensively. I love Chris Paul, so we'll start things off there if you're just tuning in. Damian Jones, we talked about him at a 4K price tag on FanDuel. He is also a great value. You get 3 points for blocks and steals on FanDuel as well. At only a 4K price tag, if he's able to rack up, 2-3 blocks in this game, that's going to go a long way for you on FanDuel. At only 4K at the center position, going to provide you with lots of value. So I think Damian Jones, once again, makes a lot of sense over here. We talked about Trey Jones on both websites. FanDuel, it's a little bit scarier because you're matching him up with, one of your point guard positions at a 4-1 price tag. It's not quite as easy to just lock it in as it is over there on DraftKings, to be honest with you, because there is a bit of an opportunity cost, but he does grade out as a good value. I like him more on DraftKings, I will say that much. Brandon Clark is a guy that I like on both websites. As long as Kyle Anderson continues to be out, he should get a big bump up in minutes and usage. His usage has been phenomenal, and his fantasy point production has always been good. 35 and 27 FanDuel points the last 2 times out. He should continue to grade out as a really good play here as long as there's no Kyle Anderson. He does look very, very good. De'Aaron Fox is 7K on FanDuel. We talked about him on DraftKings. Once again, too cheap. One guy that stands out to me a bunch at the point guard position over here on FanDuel compared to DraftKings is Russell Westbrook. He has a whole $1,200 discount, so I certainly think it makes a lot of sense to be taking advantage of his price tag over here on FanDuel. So he's someone that I'd be getting a lot more exposure to on FanDuel than I would on DraftKings. Jalen Smith at a 5.8 price tag for the Phoenix Suns. We talked about him on DraftKings. I like him on both websites. Once again, starting center, no JaVale McGee, no DeAndre Ayton. Great fantasy point per minute producer. Continues to get the job done. 38 FanDuel points last time out in only 23 minutes. That is phenomenal at only a 5.8 price tag. He continues to be a great play here. 2 other options you can be looking to at the center position if you're not going down to a Damian Jones would be a Jakob Poeltl, a Jonas Valanciunas, both looking like pretty solid plays. At a 7.5 price tag, Mr. Jonas Valanciunas' price tag over here on FanDuel, much, much cheaper than on DraftKings. So once again, you can take advantage of that discount. And as far as anyone else, Jakob Poeltl at 6.1. Once again, Spurs shorthanded, should get a big bump up in usage. His price tag isn't high enough on both websites, in my opinion. Do think he is a great play. We talked about Cameron Payne now. There's no Landry Shamet. I think that Cameron Payne grades out as a pretty great play now. He's going to get a big bump up in usage. He's going to get more minutes. He's a 6th man off the bench, so he comes in with the second unit, and he dominates all of the usage. 5.2 on FanDuel grades out as a good play for me. Marvin Bagley at 4.8. We just got confirmation there's no Maytu. He's going to become an even better play over here on FanDuel. So another guy that you could be looking to at on FanDuel. And the top 2 pay-up options on this slate, I've already mentioned it, but it still applies for FanDuel, are LeBron James and Domantas Sabonis. So those are 2 guys I would be getting in your lineups if at all possible. LeBron James, Domantas Sabonis. Love those 2 options. Fill in the rest of your lineup with the value around them. And count your money. That would be my advice for you on this slate tonight. Any Culver love? No, Culver. Why would I want? Maybe I'm not thinking of something that you are. Jarrett Culver at 3K. Played 30 minutes last game. I guess that's a good point. He wasn't someone that I was really on my radar, so I'm glad you brought it up. He could be a decent play. I mean, he hasn't been included in the rotation. They went to him for 30 minutes last time. Yeah, that is interesting. I'm glad you brought that up. If that's the case at a 3K price tag, let's go ahead and do some investigating here. Let's see what he's put up on a permanent basis on the season so far. And then we will talk here. Jarrett Culver, 3K, 0.98 DK points per minute over a 13-game sample size and 133 minutes. That does look very, very good. So, yeah, I would give you the go on Jarrett Culver. I would give you the go on him. And I'd be willing to bet there's something going on with my player pool right now with the free agent signing, so I'm going to fix that. So I'm glad that you brought that up. And he is going to be a pretty decent play at 3K. Yeah, I do think that he is a good value play here. To answer your question, we just went over that together. He's been on salary. He got a lot of run. He's been producing at a high rate. The other guy you can be looking to on the Grizzlies is Killian Tilly. He's 3-3. So he's another guy that I'd be looking to that's really cheap on the Memphis Grizzlies if you want to go to him. Does grade out as a pretty good play here. So no Brooks, no Concha, no Melton. Yeah, exactly. I think that makes sense. What Spurs should we lock in? The Spurs, my favorite plays would be Jones and Derek White on the Spurs for fantasy upside at their price tag. So I think Derek White's the first one that you should be locking in. I also do like Jones quite a bit at a 3.8 price tag. I also like Devin Vassell. I like a lot of Spurs, but those would be the first two that come to mind. If you're asking me to pick two to be locking in your lineups, they do certainly make quite a bit of sense. Best value guard on DraftKings cash game. Best value guard on DraftKings for me would be either Dwayne Washington Jr. or Trey Jones. Both starting point guards with their teams dealing with injuries. My pick of those two would be Trey Jones, but they do both grade out as good plays. If you want to play both of them in your cash games, I wouldn't hate that. Torrey Craig or Holiday. I would go with Holiday there. Torrey Craig or THT. I would go with... That's kind of a tough one. THT's gotten his minutes cut way back recently, so I'd probably go with Torrey Craig there for that reason. I don't really like either of those plays, to be completely honest with you, Tat, but that would be my answer. Payne or Quickly? Payne, not even close. Yeah, I think that Payne is going to be a really good value play. There's no... There is no, what am I trying to say here? There is no, Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet. He's the winner. He's the guy I was trying to think of. No Landry Shamet. Plays a lot of minutes. That's going to open up more minutes in the rotation. T. Jones or Washington Jr.? Jones, just answer that one. I like Jones over Washington Jr. I think they're both good value plays. Small forward, FanDuel, 41 and under. Let's go to small forward. 4100 and under on FanDuel. Doesn't really look like there's a whole lot to love down here, my man. I don't know if I'd be going with that approach. Honestly, you're wasting a big spot on a site like FanDuel. Jarrett Culver, we just talked about him. He's 3.5. That'd be my pick. Played 30 minutes last time out. Certainly doesn't make quite a bit of sense to me if he's going to play 30 minutes cheap across the industry. Yeah, it makes sense. Bagley or Anthony? I'd go with Bagley now that we get confirmation that there's no May 2. I'm going to be updating my projections, and I have a feeling that when I do, I mean, they're already pretty much updated, but we got the May 2 news. When I do, I think I'm going to like Marvin Bagley a lot more, would be my assumption here. So, for that reason, does certainly make quite a bit of sense to me. Yeah, Marvin Bagley looks like a pretty great play on my sheets, so that's where I would be going. Alright, guys, let me know if you have any more questions in the chat, guys. Check out the KJK DFS premium content. If you guys haven't already, you can check it out over here. $19.99 a month. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. Patreon.com/KJK_DFS. You get access to my premium NBA projections, core plays, the Patreon, Discord access, all that fun stuff. And if you haven't signed up for Parlay Play yet, you should, because it is the sponsor of the channel. Phenomenal format, and we have been killing it over on Parlay Play. If you did not tune into yesterday's video, we have turned $10 into $534.85 over on Parlay Play with our picks. You can sign up today using promo code KJK003. Using my link is the easiest way to do it, which I'll put in the chat. It's also in the description of all my videos. And when you sign up today, you get the instant match deposit, and you do get a risk-free $10 if you use that promo code KJK003. And like I said, we're 8-6 on our picks. We nailed last night. We went with Norman Powell, Trae Young, Anthony Simmons, Clint Capella, all over parlay points. Our record stands at 8-6. And we're just absolutely killing it over there on parlay play. So sign up today. Use that promo code KJK003. I don't have an official pick for tonight because, to be honest with you guys, hush hush between me and you guys, I have to have someone out of state place it for me because I'm not in a state where parlay play is available. So I have a nice little friend that does it for me, and he wasn't able to tonight. So I don't have an official pick. I don't want to lie to you guys and say that I locked a pick in when I didn't, but I will help you out. We're going to look at parlay play right now. And on parlay play, if I had to go with picks tonight, I do think it would make some sense to take advantage of the Raptors-Spurs game, where we have Derek White with a bump up, Jakob Poeltl with a bump up, and Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet lines are too low in my opinion. So you have Pascal Siakam at 34.5 parlay points. You have Fred VanVleet at over 32.5 parlay points. I do like those two picks. Take the over. I do like the Derek White over. I like the Jakob Poeltl over. If you want to do all four of those, you can. But I would say, that would be the game that I'm looking to target on parlay play, taking some overs in that game. So just to help you out, lead you in the right direction, that's where I'd be looking to. Sign up today using that promo code KJK003. I typically will have the KJK DFS Parlay Play Bankroll Challenge picks for you every day on the channel. I'm just not going to officially announce a pick today because I wasn't able to place it myself, so I don't think it's fair for me to say that I did when I didn't. So we'll be back with that as soon as possible, but just so you know, we've turned $10 into $534.85. So that, my friends, is a good return on investment. So I don't know if any of you are into stocks or anything, but typically, you're looking at about a 7% rate on return being good. Yeah, not like a 500,000% return. So this is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. So sign up today, use the promo code KJK003, and join over there on Parlay Play. So questions. Mobley or Poeltl on DraftKings? I would go with Jakob Poeltl there for the upside at his price tag. John, that would be my answer there. Keldon Johnson over 24.5. Keldon Johnson is one of the most versatile players in the NBA. He is very inconsistent. So for that reason, I refuse to give you a pick on his line on Parlay Play, and I would encourage you to not touch it because he's very unpredictable. I like to pick picks that are predictable. I like to pick guys that play in the mid-30s minutes. I like to play guys that are getting a bigger bump up in minutes and usage because of injuries. I don't like playing or picking the over or under on a guy like a Keldon Johnson who's so versatile that you don't know if he's going to score 50 or 10. That is not fun for me, and I would encourage you not to do the same. So that would be my advice there. That would be my 100% honest advice. I would not touch Keldon Johnson's line on Parlay Play. Adam says, appreciate the honesty tonight. Yeah, no problem, Adam. I mean, I'm always honest. I just, unfortunately, I wish I could just place the pick myself, but I can't because of, I'm living in New York, and they don't have the Parlay Play app available in New York yet. They're working on it, though. Good people over on Parlay Play, guys. Sign up for the platform. Use that promo code KJK003. Sponsor the channel. I love the guys over there. We work closely together. So sign up and support them because they support me. It's another way of supporting me on this channel. Signing up using my promo code and the link down below in the description. Brandon Clark, campaign, or D Jones? I like all three of those, my dude. So Asif, I don't know. If you're asking me to pick one, I would go with Damian Jones. He grades out as the best play there. But I'll be honest. I think your head's at the right spot. I think you're on the right page because those are the guys that I would be looking to on this slate tonight. But yeah, if I had to pick one, I would go with Damian Jones. Adam said he liked the over on fantasy points for the Spurs-Raptors game. Yeah, I like taking the over on the guys that get solidified minutes in that game. So the Derek Whites of the world, the Pascal Siakam, the Fred VanVleet. Sergio Moody says Gibson or Robinson? Robinson. Asaf says, thank you. No problem, man. I'll be updating the core plays for you in the premium content. I appreciate you tuning into the live stream. And I appreciate you being a premium content member as well. All right, guys, it's 6:17. I'm going to bounce out of here soon to update my projections, core plays, all that stuff. Before I do, hit that like button if you're enjoying the stream, guys. Sign up for the premium content if you'd like, patreon.com/KJK_DFS. Sign up for Parlay Play. Use that promo code KJK003 to get an instant match deposit up to $50. You also get a risk-free $10 when you sign up today. And if you have any questions, please do ask them. I'll hang out for another few minutes here. We can chat it up, look at some latest injury news. Then I got to bounce out, update my core plays, build my own lineups, answer all the questions from my premium content members all at once because that's what I do. That's what I do on a daily basis. I like to keep doing 1,000 things at once, going crazy. That's what I signed up for when I started this YouTube channel. Adam says, good luck, everyone. Good luck, Adam. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, guys, looks like everyone got all their questions answered. So I'm going to bounce out of here. I hope everyone wins tonight. Don't forget to get Chris Paul in your lineups. He's my lock of the night. Chris Paul, phenomenal play on both websites. He's 200 priced. He will be in my lineups, and I would encourage you to do the same. So I'm going to bounce out. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button before you exit if you enjoyed the stream, and we will see you in the next one. Good luck tonight, guys.